Alright guys, I'm back, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how to choose a deer hunting spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to a property over here that I'm hunting this year, and I'm going to show you guys how I chose the spots that I did and what you guys need to be looking for out in the field. So without further ado, I'll see you guys when we get out there, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys over there. Alright guys, I'm back and I'm out here. So let me show you guys this first spot here. So we do have a food plot back here, but we're actually not even planting it until after the season starts. So let me tell you guys kind of how I chose this spot. So I'm going to build, or not build, I'm going to put a stand. There's an oak tree there, and there's a pine tree about another 5 yards behind it. I haven't decided which one I'm going to use, but obviously it's going to be a lot of work clearing all that out. So I chose this spot because right over there, I don't know if you can see my truck, it's right there, is where the old ladder stand is. So we chose this spot. This is a really good spot, good transition area. That's bedding, and there is water and bedding back there. So the reason we chose this spot is because there is a dried creek bed that runs along back there. And what happens is those deer, they either come from bedding over there or they're coming from the neighbor's property over there. So what they'll do is they'll follow that creek. It comes all the way down, and it's dried up, but that's still what they follow. They follow that creek bed all the way down, right through here. And like I said, their bedding is over there. They come this way, and that creek is about 30 yards through the woods there. So, and then there's some white oaks back there. I don't think you can see them, but there's some white oaks back there. And those are the only white oaks on the whole property. So, again, essential. We know where the bedding's at. We know that there's food and water and bedding over there. So this is just where those deer are traveling. So that's why we have a stand, or we're going to put a stand right here in this particular spot. So the three main things you need to know is food, water, and bedding. So the deer I'm actually trying to kill, so there's a lot of deer that bed over here. The deer I'm trying to kill beds on the neighbor's property over there. We know that because we've talked to him. We've shared a bunch of trail camera pictures with each other. He beds on his property, and then he comes over here. So my guess is that he's bedding over there, he's getting up, and there's no water over there. He's getting up, he's following that creek down through here, and there's red oaks and stuff all along the way. He's coming over here, he's feeding on his white oaks, he's going around, maybe checking other beds, and then he's going, maybe getting a drink, and he's circling. He circles that back into the property that there's absolutely zero pressure on. He circles back there, and he makes his loop. Because our other neighbor on this side also has pictures of him over there. So that's what my guess is. But anyways, so that's kind of why I choose this spot. You want to try to get into a transition area. So I'm in the transition of bedding to food and water. You know, if we do get a rain, I'm banking on us probably not getting a rain, so that'll be his only water. If we get rain, then maybe some little holes will fill up and he won't have to travel as far for water. But that's what my guesses are right now. So, and that's kind of what I'm banking on. And he's been doing the same thing all summer, and when the early season gets here in 3 weeks, he'll probably still be on the same pattern, hopefully. So that is why I chose this spot, and hoping we can catch him slip up. I have a trail camera up right here. New spot. I've never had a trail camera there. I don't know how it's going to work. I'm going to have to look at my pictures and see what I got. But that's how we chose the first spot. And now I'm going to take you to the second spot and show you guys that one as well. And real quick, another reason I chose this spot is because when we get a cold front, the reason I don't like this stand is, number one, the buck's bed over there. and I can only hunt that stand with a south wind, because you normally have a food plot out here once it gets a little bit later. So I can only hunt that stand with a south wind, so it's not blowing in the food plot. But the bucks usually come from back behind me, where the wind's usually blowing in the south. So that's another reason we're putting this stand up. And usually when we get a cool front, the wind's coming out of the north, northeast, something. So that would be this spot really good, because if the wind's blowing out of the north, then our wind's blowing straight back behind us. So let's go ahead and head over here to this next spot, and we'll check it out, and I'll show you guys why I picked it as well. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to make this quick. So pretty much how I chose this spot, my phone's overheating. So how I chose this spot is right here is that same creek. That spot we were at, for a little bit of context, 300 yards through the woods that way. That same creek comes this way. It goes off that way and forks off this way. The bedding in there, the same bedding in there and there. This side, this is not our property, it's a neighbor's property. But over there is a thicket of nothing but oaks. White oaks, red oaks, you name it, they got it. So those deer, whenever they don't go, that way, they come this way. And again, they're coming from the bedding, generally coming from this way, and they're coming up, they're crossing down here in this bottom. So you may be wondering, how do you decide, maybe an exact spot? I mean, we got 400 yards worth of this lane here. How do you decide where to put a bow setup? Number one, look for trails. And number two, look for something like this creek bottom. I've hunted this spot for years. I've killed some of my biggest bucks off of it. And this is where they come out and cross every time, no matter what. It doesn't matter. And if we kind of look through here, maybe hard to see, but there's a trail there. There's a trail there. Not even 10 yards from the creek. That little creek bed full of deer tracks. Another trail right here. Old rub on a tree there. So another old rub on a tree right there. So these deer are coming through. Now I don't really know where I'm gonna put my ladder stand. Maybe somewhere out there. I don't know. I would rather it be on this side, because they're gonna be coming from that way. No, I apologize. My phone overheated and I couldn't get it to cool off out there. So I'm back in my truck. I'm about to leave this property here. But pretty much what I was saying was, it was kind of hard to find a good tree for me to be set up in, because the only good trees were on the side I was expecting them to come from. I actually ended up finding a tree. It's about 40 yards away, so I'm probably going to do it. I don't want to risk putting my stand in a tree on the side I think they're coming from and risk spooking them. So we're going to try. It'll be where I'm expecting them to cross. It'll probably be like 30 yards, which I'd like to be a little bit closer, but 30 yards is fine. And if they cross in the creek, it'll be about 40. So we'll see how it goes. But guys, I just wanted to key in on a few points here. Number one, bedding. Number two, food. Number three, water. Water is especially important here in the early season. And you want to be in those transition zones, transitioning from bedding to food, bedding to water. Sitting on a water hole this time of year is good. Just pretty much anywhere in those transition zones is where you really want to key in. And at least right now we're August 15th or so. Key in and put some cams up at some spots you're thinking, and see what you can come up with. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.